Hey guys, how you guys doing? 안녕하십니까? 잘 지냈습니까? I hope you guys are fine. I hope you guys are good. I know it's been long, but anyway. So today I'm going to talk about a topic which I've never talked about on my channel, and that is something related to finances. Let me give you a bit of backstory. My name is Trevor. For those who don't know me, I've been living in Korea for more than 10 years. Oh my goodness. I've been living in Korea for more than 10 years. And out of those 10 years, I've been working for about 5 years. Through that period, I've been earning my salary through a Korean bank. And I have an F2 visa. So those three things are important. I'm Kenyan, I'm working, and I have an F2 visa. I identified a piece of real estate in Kenya which I wished to purchase, but I was short on funding. So I thought I could secure a credit loan through a Korean bank to fund purchase of this piece of real estate. Through that, I've been calling or physically going to Korean banks to secure funding. This is what I found out. I went to 5 banks and 1 credit lender. The 5 banks were Jeonbuk, Shinhan, Hana, KB Kungmin, Semaul, and the credit lending institution was DGB Capital. The results for credit loans are, I couldn't get a credit loan in any of these institutions. So I'm going to break down the results of why I was denied credit loans in all these institutions. For Jeonbuk, they said they don't accept F2 visa, which is weird because I saw an advertisement on Jeonbuk, and not an advertisement, but can I say news article. I saw a news article on Jeonbuk and how they lend credit loans to people with working visas like F2. So I thought Jeonbuk would be a good bank to borrow a credit loan from, and also they have like a financial center for foreigners at Suwon. So I called the financial center, and lo and behold, they don't accept F2 visas. I tried to do a bit of digging, and I think this is just from what I saw online. I think they accept F4, F5, and F6 visas for credit loans. I'm not sure. This is like what I guess. And F4 visas are for overseas Korean. F5 visas are for permanent residencies like Ashraf, and F6 are for spouse of Korean nationals. So I think if you have those visas, then you can qualify for a credit loan, but they told me they don't qualify. I don't qualify because of my F2 visa. So second bank, Shinhan. I went to Shinhan because I earn my salary through Shinhan, and I thought since I earn my salary through Shinhan, it would be a good and natural choice for me. But they didn't say no. What they told me is you can get, also not all branches accept credit loans for foreigners. That's what they told me. So I was like, can you tell? So I went to the branches around where I work, and they told me not all branches can give credit loans to foreigners. And so I told them, can you try and check a branch where they can give credit loans to foreigners around me? And nada, I couldn't find any. So on paper, they say like some branches can give credit loans to foreigners, but then nah, I didn't find any branch which could do that. So the third bank I went to is Hana. I went to Hana because they have a product for foreign credit loans. It's called 외국인 주 거래 우대론. And I discovered that they stopped giving new credit loans to foreigners. So the 외국인 주 거래 우대론, they had like an interest of 7 to 8%, which is good considering what Jeonbuk offers. I think Jeonbuk, they said in that article that credit loans for foreigners are in the range of 11 to 15% interest. Oh man, that's high. Depending on which company you work from. So companies also have partnerships with the bank. And I asked if the company I'm working for has a partnership with Hana. And yeah, they have a partnership. But for you to qualify for a loan as a foreigner, you need to be a division manager or above. Yes, It's pujang in Korean. So they were like, oh, because we have a product for your company, but you need to be a pujang. So I went to KB Kungmin. So Kungmin is a really nice bank, I think, in my opinion, especially to foreigners. They have like multilingual services. They have really good loans for mortgage. Like if you want a loan for chonse, I've never applied for one, but they have loans for chonse. But they don't do credit loans to foreigners. That's what they told me. So if you want a credit loan, they can't help you. And I went to Semaul. So Semaul just told me they can't accept the F2 visa. I went to DGB Capital and they were like, oh, so what's your nationality? I'm like, I'm Kenyan. And they're like, oh, we're sorry. Right now, we don't have a product for Kenyans. So DGB Capital looks at the country you're from. This is the conclusion from the banks. Number one is your visa is really important. So if you're like on an F2 visa, I presume like working E7 visa, E9 visa, then it's going to be really, really hard for you to get a credit loan. If you have an F4, F5, F6 visa, you have a higher possibility of getting a credit loan. But even with these types of visas, some credit lending institutions will still ask for your nationality. So the third thing I want to talk about is the delinquency rates for loans in Korea. So when I went to KB Hana, I was like, tell me the truth. Why did you pull out this product for the market? I'm talking about the Wewugin Chukore Uderon, which is like a product for offering credit loans to foreigners. I was like, just be honest. Is it because like foreigners weren't they were defaulting on the loans? And then the lady was like, no, it's because of the changing markets, blah blah blah. So I was like, oh, this is suspicious. So I went and checked the delinquency rates. I tried to check for Chonbuk Unheng. So the delinquency rates for foreigners in Chonbuk is about 5%. My goodness. I think this is the delinquency rates for all the products, all the loans. But for Koreans, it's 0.63. That's a really huge gap. Probably my presumption is this is one of the reasons why banks hesitate to give credit loans to foreigners. So I kind of understand why it's hard to get a credit loan in Korea. So I thought of other ways which I could finance this, and the first thing was I looked into credit lenders, small credit lenders. There was one which is called Billion. It's kind of a suspicious name, but yeah, it's called Billion. And I called them and they told me that they only focus on Southeast Asian countries like Cambodia and Vietnam, etc. And I think workers who are on an E9 visa. So yeah, they were like, you don't qualify because you're Kenyan. And I called one company. It was like loans for Filipinos. They told me they're going to give me the results on Monday. Yeah. So another way I tried it was asking if one of my Korean friends can get the loan on my behalf, and I discovered like money is a really sensitive issue. The third thing I tried to do was getting my pension, the 퇴직금, getting my pension early. But then if you get your pension early, you can only purchase properties in Korea. So you're not allowed to get your pension early if you want to purchase a property outside Korea. I want to give you guys my thoughts on what I feel about credit loans. If I cannot get a credit loan, then why am I getting money, or why am I putting money in a Korean account?